so I'm sure one time he couldn't breathe very well. He was choking on it, and he pulled it. And I'm sitting there, and I think I was I don't know, reading or maybe even listening to some podcasts or something like that while I'm sitting there in the hospital. And all of a sudden the alarm goes off, right, on the machine, the breathing machine, and it's like, okay, something's wrong. Yeah. I could totally tell. And he's not getting any oxygen. Mm-hmm. So one of the nurses, he comes running in, and I mean, he starts cussing up a storm, like, yo, what are you doing, Doug? Don't do that, and you can't push it back in. You have to actually pull the whole thing out, and they have to surgically put a new one in. So what he did was he had other people come, and they had to take that out while they put in the other tubes back in, so he can breathe fully, not assisted anymore, full breathing, until they can do another surgery to put a new trach in. And I was there for only like a minute when he was like, I'm going to have to ask you to leave because they needed to bring in a whole team of people.
They needed to do it.
Oh yeah, it was an emergency right then. So they took care of that. They put in a new one. I messaged all my family, said what was going on. I think my aunt was there, but she was actually just in the bathroom or something, taking a break, literally right before that happened. And then things started to improve. He has a bigger trach. Things are improving. Finally, he gets up to Bountiful, I think is what it's called. And anyways, this place that he gets to, where we went and visited on the 4th of July, was a 5-star rating place. Okay?
Outpatient?
You're still in, but they do, like, it's more long-term care. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, he doesn't have to be in the hospital. It's not emergency state anymore. He's doing good enough that they can just monitor and everything like that. So they were understaffed. And it's what they told us, and everything. And so we visit with him all that day, and we say, hey, we love you. It's great. The kids were glad to see him, and then everybody leaves. He did have that kind of choking type of thing again. And it's weird because they have like the trach that's helping him breathe. And then they had another tube with a little squeezer to pull up phlegm. Mm. Why are they right next to each other? Yeah. Why are they right next to each other? Because you could, first off, like I said, dexterity is not very good in the hand. So you could accidentally grab the wrong thing and pull the wrong thing.
Of course.
And that's like, I saw him do that before where he accidentally pulled it. And with a bigger one, that could even be worse, right? He could bleed, something could happen. And that's what happened. So he, nobody was in the room. We had gone, we're doing fireworks, and about 10 o'clock, 10:30, we're driving home. I'm driving my kids home from our in-laws' house after fireworks, and and it's my aunt. And I knew literally, like when I looked at the phone, why she was calling. And I had to pull over. I could barely talk to her. She could barely talk to me. And I said, okay, I'm coming up right now. And same thing. We gathered my other siblings. We all met up there. We drove up there. And by the time we got there, it was like midnight. And they told us that it was a violent death. Apparently the nurse that went in couldn't get the trach back in, is what we were told. The thing is you're not supposed to, and I recall the hospital dude telling me, you're not supposed to push the trach back in at all. And they were trying to pump him, they were trying to give him oxygen, because as soon as that pulled out, there's no oxygen. And if you even slightly push it back in, you're going to rupture something, and then there's just blood. And so he had no oxygen. They started pumping him full of oxygen, and it wasn't getting into his lungs. So literally his whole body ballooned up. And by the time we saw him, his whole body was just a balloon. Mm. It was like all puffy, didn't look anything like my dad. And the doctor was like, it was a super violent death. They did CPR for for a long time. They tried to do all that kind of stuff. And it it was too late.
Yeah. And CPR is violent in
Sure.
of itself.
Sure.
Because
I just renewed my CPR last week.
Yeah. You can break their ribs
Sure.
and that kind of thing.
And anyways, it was hard because we all thought that he was going to get better.
Yeah.
There was like that hope. We're like, oh, awesome. He's going to get better.
Well,
we just saw him. He was having fun.
Looking on the up and up.
Totally.
You know?
And then boom, just like that, gone, taken. And, it was really hard to process at first. A lot of the family, there was a lot of anger. My sister was super pissed off, just tons of anger. And
towards the hospital or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's suing the long-term care facility. Yeah. Yeah. She's suing them. And I'm dragged into that. I have to be a part of that because I was the person that, I don't know what you call it, the beneficiary. I don't know what you call the person.
Yeah.
I'm that person that
beneficiary
that signs off on the medical records and all that kind of stuff. And we're in the process of still doing that. It's almost 2 years and we're still in that process because my sister's suing for negligence because, and the thing is, we don't want to destroy the nurse's life. If she was, it's panic. She shows up and he pulled the trach out and she wants to save him.
She's just,
but I don't know.
Yeah. It's just a lack of training, I think.
Yes. Here's the thing. This was a 5-star place. We brought them to the best of state. They were voted best of state for long-term respiratory care patients, which is exactly what he needed. And, well, it was pretty rough. And my whole family, like a lot of us were like, we felt like there was so much more, like our relationships were getting so much better. There was so much more that we could have done and processed and healed. And I feel like I did because I would go down there and actually talk to him and everything. And it just, I don't know if every sibling got to do that. It's just, it's hard, right? Losing anyone is hard. But I always thought that I would have more time with him to like maybe rekindle an adult relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I've been so focused on my own kids, my own, all that kind of stuff. It's like, you kind of want to get older and then your dad is like an old man. Cause I still didn't think he was an old man. He was 71 when he died. But like I was thinking like maybe he'd live till 90 so we could like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But how I've been able to process that, again, is reflection of death and what it means and how it is a transition. He would say he would say it the same. He would say this. He would say, well, it is what it is.
Well, just think about like that time that you almost died.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's why you told that story.
Yes, that's why I started it off that way.
But just the fact that, I don't know, it just seemed like it was on the up and up, and it really wasn't.
It really wasn't.
Yeah,
it was just like that.
Yeah,
that one little tiny thing
be hard.
Just gone. And could have people been better prepared? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and just like with any type of death, we have to deal with the aftermath. And everybody grieves in their own ways. It was hard for me for a while. It was pretty hard. It was hard to coach, because I keep thinking like, man, I really thought I was going to have more time with him. But there were times where there was resentment and anger, whereas like, well, if you wouldn't have effed this up when we were kids, then I would have had a better relationship with you, and we could have, spent more time with each other and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there was some of that as well where I was angry, but you can't hold on to that. So anybody out there that's has dealt with death, a death of a family member, a death of a child, that would be so hard. Death of a spouse, a father, mother, brother, anybody, a friend. There's that grieving point where it's not like it ever truly goes away. Of course, I'm still sad. I still grieve in different ways. I'll play his song on my guitar, and it's still really hard.
You still can't sing it?
I still can't sing it. I just can't. And maybe I should just play it, have my kids sing it or my wife sing it or something.
Yeah.
But there is hope that you can live a better life, that you can still make a difference, and that you can nurture your relationships to their fullest while you're here, because you never know when it could happen, when someone could be gone or when you could be gone. And so I urge all of you guys to spread the love, spread the joy, serve people, and live your life so that it matters and you can be someone that matters.
Was this in July?
It was July. 4th of July was when he passed away. Yeah, because you gave me you gave me that cool quote, and then a plant. Shane was really nice to do that. I had some clients that gave me some stuff as well, and everything. And
well, that's the power of relationship building of your own.
Yeah,
and the types of people that you surround yourself with are like definitely feel empathy for you, and that's a really good thing to feel empathetic about. You know.
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll for these, when we post the release of these, we'll put some pictures up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if you can find that one, that you gave me, that'd be great.
I was looking for it, but
I took a picture of it and put it on my Insta, so I have it. A picture of the thing that you gave me.
Okay.
But anyways, just want to end this one, you guys, with that challenge to go and serve someone.
Be of service, yes.
Be of service to someone, because that's going to bring true happiness.
Yeah, that's like the more I have served, and like with the 5K we put on and stuff like that I can do because of this podcast.
Yes.
Is so beneficial to me.
Yep. Okay, you guys, like this, share it.
Comment, subscribe.
Comment. Yeah, get some comments. I mean, yeah, we want there to be, create a community of iron will people. So, all right.
Okay.
That's it, man.
Okay.
Thanks,
we'll see
John.
Ya.
Bye.